and both versions will be ground attack capable. We do also hope to include an Iranian style, or simply early style F-14A, if you will, which will lack the TCS and a few other bits and bobs. Speaking of capability, our F-14 will come out of the box ready to wield a wide assortment of air-to-air and air-to-ground weaponry, just as in reality. From the mighty and internet warrior controversial AIM-54 Phoenix to laser-guided precision munitions, dumb bombs, cluster munitions, and even the tactical air-launched decoy. With the long legs and high speed of the Tomcat, you'll be a very effective force on the virtual battlefield. The Tomcat is a two-seat aircraft and is crewed by both a pilot and RIO, or radar intercept officer. Now, even if you're just a pilot purist, you do have to care about the back seat, because that is, quite frankly, where most of the Tomcat weapons magic happens. The RIO in the back seat controls the AUG-9 radar and associated systems and displays. For those of you who prefer to fly in single player, we've created a brand new AI to handle rear seat duties, called Jester AI. Jester will help you fly and fight in the F-14 without a human backseater. But of course, it's always more fun to fly with friends. And the F-14 will be multiplayer, multi-crew capable on day one. And it's an immense amount of fun. You don't want to miss out. And if you don't have any friends who fly DCS, get some, because it's worth it. Trust us. Our simulation of the AUG-9 radar system accurately simulates the radar itself and its associated displays, namely the DDD, or Detailed Data Display, and TID, or Tactical Information Display. The AUG-9 is a pretty dated system though, so it's very hands-on. And as you can imagine, becoming proficient at tweaking the radar parameters and settings to achieve the most readable radar image and interpreting it will separate the good RIOs from the bad. Be the goose to your Maverick and make sure to learn to wield the true power. Our main goal with the F-14 has really been to try to push the bar wherever we can, and to bring you a complete, realistic, and immersive F-14 experience. We've created brand new features just for the F-14, such as in-depth simulation of jet wash, Jester AI, a brand new multi-crew networking sync layer, and of course an incredibly large investment of time into getting the flight model and systems modeling of the F-14 just right. Now that we've gotten you a bit of an overview of the F-14, we can jump in depth into each one of these systems, start the aircraft up, and show you what it's all want to miss any of that, I promise you. The F-14 will launch this winter, and that means basically before the 21st of March 2019. So don't worry, we will be giving you a heads up on the exact date, so you can jump in and pre-order if that's your thing, for a bit of a discount, of course. And if you've already done so, thank you so much for your support. I know I can hardly wait to be your RIO. Hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the Heat Blur F-14, and stay
Hello, good morning, welcome. I am Sim UK, and I'm very pleased to have with me today Mr. Sir Jimmy Dali. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, hello everyone, and thank you for inviting me over to your stream, mate. You're awesome.
It's an absolute pleasure. Jimmy's been helping me out with my OBS settings this morning. For those of you who watched our previous stream, you'll know why. It was an absolute disaster. Nothing was working at all. It basically fell over within an hour, but it was
It's probably gonna
struggling.
fall over again. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll
I hope
see.
everything
We'll see.
works.
I think.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, man. Looking at it already, it seems to be a lot smoother, but that's just my opinion. I'd be interested for anybody who is watching the stream at the moment just to jump in and say
Yeah,
whether
it'd be
or not
great
it's
if you guys
clear.
can help us out and let us know how you see things from your side. If it's actually glitching out on you, or
Yeah.
just let us know in the chat.
But I'd say it does appear to be a lot smoother, just from my perspective here. But it's a bit difficult for me to tell. But it's kind of impromptu. It wasn't planned to do a live Twitch today. This is going out on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but it's just basically a test. It's not really real, if that makes sense. So
Not
it's
official.
it's not official. That's probably the best way to describe it. But we are going to be looking at VoiceAttack a little bit today. I was planning on making a video on this anyway, and it just seemed to sort of coincide and work well that we just do a test stream as is. So, Jimmy, have you ever used VoiceAttack?
No, I haven't. And from what I've seen, it's pretty disastrous. every time, every time you say download gear, all kinds of crazy things happen. I just really enjoy the fact that you're having a hard time with it. It's
I
so
did. I
funny.
did learn an important lesson in the last stream. Actually, the if you add new controls to a command, it
Okay.
doesn't delete the ones that were there before. So
Oh,
where I'd gone in and changed it, what I'd actually done was put it in twice.
and you
Uh,
just kept adding and adding
yeah,
commands.
and the worst thing I did that I realized this after the stream yesterday. The worst thing I'd done was at some point I'd pressed Alt Tab, which meant I tabbed out of the game and just started doing crazy things outside of it as well, and that was all recorded. And when I asked for the spaceship to take off, all hell broke loose basically. It took off twice, flew into the ceiling, then it went out of the game, so I had no control over anything. It was a bit of a flipping nightmare, truth be told. But yes, we've learned an awful lot since then, so hopefully we'll have a bit more of a successful system today. So,
Well, the funnest part about all this is that you go through the phase and you go through it live with everybody, and everybody just enjoys you learning your learning curve, and
enjoys
it's
my
awesome.
learning curve,
It's
yeah.
yeah.
Watching somebody else fail instead of.
I remember you were having the same issues with FH4
uh, F8,
with the
what's
steering.
FH4?
Forza Horizon 4.
Oh God, yeah, the controls on Forza Horizon
I
4.
loved watching that one.
Oh my word, absolute disastrous. I haven't even gone back to that game yet because I haven't
Mhm.
got around those issues. But I just realised I haven't plugged my flipping controllers in, so I'm just going to do that real quick
No worries, no worries. I
whilst
have
we're
time.
chatting and prepping. But Voice Attack is now available on Steam. It's a really old bit of software, actually. It's been around for a really long time, and they do keep updating it and improving it. And theoretically, that's one controller in. Theoretically, it can understand what you're saying better now than it could when it first came out. I'm not necessarily sure that's happening for me, but quite a few people who were watching the stream the other day said they were having no issues with it, pretty much. So I think it's just a case of getting it set up properly.
Yeah, that's right.
So
And I see
hopefully,
it's a flat rate. A flat rate.
a
One
flat
time
rate as
purchase.
in purchase for a lifetime. Is that what you mean?
Oh, your voice is roboting.
Oh, yeah, some weird stuff happened. New
Yeah.
audio device detected. Oh, that's Discord being a.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a one-time fee for voice attack, and then you keep getting all the updates. Is that correct?
That's correct as I understand it. Yes.
So it's pretty worth it then.
Yeah, it's less than £10. So what's that sort of? $10. So it's about £8, and I assume sort of €8-9, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a massive outlay.
Well,
And
I think they're gonna say €10.
is it €10?
Oh yeah, it's pretty much the same as in
As the US.
dollars. They love doing that.
Yeah, squeeze that little bit of extra cash out of you. Scumbags. Yeah, but even if it is €10, I don't think that's your PC needs to be restarted to finish setting up this device. Go to sleep. Just stop being a pain in the ass. I've connected these controllers every day for years. You don't need to restart. Trust me. You're just being very stupid. Yeah, I mean, so £10, €10 is not a massive outlay, and the potential that it offers is enormous.
You're going to show us that today.
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to sort of sell this voice attack software to the many
Are you
peeps.
sponsored by this company?
Absolutely not. Not at all. I paid for my purchase 2 or 3 years ago. I did say in the last stream I was thinking about contacting them and just saying, look, can you send me a stream key for free so that I can compare the stream version with the offline version? Just, just give some people information on that. But to be fair, I think it's going to be about the same. I don't think there's going to be any difference. Okay. They've got this how-to page, and there's quite a lot of how-to stuff in here. But this is the one I think I need to do offline for quite a bit. Train your speech engine. This is absolutely critical. If you're,
that's what you would do on Windows as well for text-to-speech.
That's it. In fact, that's exactly what this is. It's running off text-to-speech, and you do need to train it. Now, I have trained mine, and...
Hi, guys. You'll love using this add-on.
Hey, Cap. You'll love using this add-on. Well, we'll see, Cap.
Hey, Cap. Welcome.
Everybody who uses this effectively is really 100% positive about it. And I think the only reason I'm having issues with it is because it's not fully understanding me for some reason. So if I can get past that hurdle, I think we're away. But I'm not going to do this. I have done this training your speech engine 3 times, 4 times, 5 times in the last couple of weeks. And I've done it many times before that as well. So I don't know if there's a way of resetting that and starting again from the beginning, but that might be something that I look at doing later on, but I'm not going to do that today. I think it's going to work well enough to actually get something going. So if we go into Elite Dangerous and we'll go to solo play just whilst we're practicing and stuff. Hopefully my controllers will be working. I may have to start Elite if they're not. I can see there's a minor delay in the stream, but hopefully it's not stuttering and dropping out. Fingers crossed.
That is when it loads, I think.
Just going to turn that down in my headset because it's incredibly loud. Oh wow, that gate's at an angle.
Detach confirmed. Departure authorized.
Landing gear retracted.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of the station and I'm going to go land on a planet.
Personally, I don't use it, but have many friends that do, and have always given it a positive review.
Cap says, personally I don't use it, but you've got many friends that do, and they've always given it a positive review. Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, the potential is superb. If I can get it to work as it's meant to, I think it's really going to
You have
improve
cleared the no-fire zone.
everything.
Flight control signing off.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, like I was saying,
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
broken all the boundaries of 720
second. My in-game audio is way too loud. I can't hear you guys.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Just drop this down a bit. Sound effects volume. And all the way down there. Okay. You still there, Jimmy?
Yeah. Like I was saying,
Cool.
you want to let everybody know
It
how
takes
you
away a
broken the
lot of
boundaries
button pressing and is very
of
much
your
like taking
limit on
command of a real
720,
ship.
60 FPS.
Sorry, Cap just sent a message which was read out as you were saying that. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, mate. Can you say that again?
Okay. Like I said, you want to let everybody. Well, I guess I said it for the third time, so everybody does know what I'm talking about.
It's just me. I'm the last one to.
You're actually streaming this at 1080p 60 FPS.
Oh, I am. You're right. I completely forgot about that.
And
Yeah,
it looks
that's surprising.
Absolutely amazing.
Considering yesterday I tried to stream at 720 and it was an absolute disaster. Yeah, that's miraculous.
It looks wonderful.
Oh, I'm going to do a go around here.
Very happy to see that everything's working well.
Jimmy, I think your settings are absolutely spectacular. I was going to say to you, I don't know if you've already done this. I haven't spotted it, but have you sort of created an OBS tutorial, maybe?
No, not yet.
That might be
But
something.
You're better at that. You're better at that. I'm sure you can.
I don't know about that,
showcase-
Jimmy. I don't know about that.
Showcase the new changes.
To be honest, though, your knowledge of OBS is far outweighs mine. So maybe we can collaborate and do something on that.
I'm
sure
gonna give you one magic word.
Which is
Google.
the problem with Google is there's a lot of people with different opinions on the same
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's what I did. I kept looking at every video and testing every configuration that every video had. Almost every video.
There you go.
I
See,
found
that's your experience and your knowledge there now, isn't it?
Mhm.
That you've gone and you've tested and you've tried it out. I mean,
Yeah.
dramatically improved stream quality over yesterday. So
Oh, absolutely.
so the changes that you've recommended to me are definitely working. There's no denying that at all.
I also helped Dodgeball. He was ecstatic because when he was having the same issues with the Lead Dangerous, and once he got my settings, he was totally flabbergasted. He couldn't believe that he's actually streaming at 1080p 60 FPS and so buttery smooth.
Yeah, it's incredible.
On OBS.
The change is miraculous. I was close to tears yesterday. I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to make this work. It's just the stress that a bad stream brings is unbelievable.
That's what I was there for. I really saw and I felt your distress, and I needed to help you out.
I really appreciate it, Jimmy. I genuinely do.
Cheers, buddy. And yeah, after this, I mean, if anybody wants to know the settings, just let us know if you guys want a tutorial. And both me and Sim UK, I guess, will do a collab video and just showcase both our videos. Oh, the video recording as well is absolutely optimized as well. Not just the stream side. So when you do your videos,
Yeah.
you're gonna see a big difference in quality and how smooth the videos are rendered.
That'd be great as well, because I did play a bit of FIFA 2 days ago or something.
Yeah,
And
I saw the stuttering there too.
Yeah. Well, when I edited the videos were equally as stuttery.
Yeah, well, that's all gone now. Everything's gonna be running butter smooth now.
Wonderful. That's a huge weight off my mind. I can tell you, it's streaming and getting things set up in a way that works is not an easy process. But
Well,
Jimmy,
that's the great thing about being a community and being friends on a community, especially on YouTube
Absolutely.
and Twitch, where we can actually relate with each other and see our problems and actually be able to help each other out. That's the best part of
Absolutely.
it all.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Jimmy's got a fantastic Discord channel. I don't know how do you
Server,
direct
they
people
call it.
towards it?
It's a Discord server, and I usually post a link on every one of my videos or live streams in the
There you go.
description. And it's limitless. It's everybody's free to join my server on Discord.
Fantastic. So if anybody is having OBS issues or just interested in learning how to set OBS up properly, then jump
Yeah, hit me
on
up
Jimmy's Discord, and either he or I or somebody can sort of help you out, I guess.
Hey, sounds a bit low, but
remember, you
looking
have
good.
to have the right hardware first, guys.
Hello, Raider.
Because-
Yeah, apologies if the game sound is a bit low. I've got Jimmy on Discord, so I'm trying to
Hello.
balance everything out. Should have probably done a sound test before I started streaming, but this is a test stream. I can see you're on YouTube and it doesn't say test stream on there, so apologies. But it is a test stream today just to see if the quality of the video is better. But you said it's looking good, so thank you. That is good news. I'm a
and,
terrible pilot. What am I doing here?
I just wanted to get back to what I was saying before. It plays a very important factor that you have the right hardware and your internet can actually handle the stream. So you were uploading at 4,000,
Yeah.
4,300, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's best if you keep it up close to what Twitch wants, which is close to 6,000 kilobytes per second or kilobits.
We
I'm
can
not
only
sure
just hear Jimmy.
what that would be.
You could only just hear Jimmy. Okay, I can do something about that. 1 second. Just tab out of there. Give that a boost. Jimmy, can you just say a couple of words and see if that's improved the audio?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone.
Hopefully you guys can hear Jimmy a bit clearer now. My God, it's dark down here.
It is, isn't it?
I'm freaking out. I don't know where the floor is.
That's better.
Wow, look at that.
That's better. Brilliant. Thanks, Cap. I cannot see a thing. Turn my light on. Can't see anything. Oh, there's night vision. I don't know what the button for that is. What I need is to hook up VoiceAttack for night vision. How's that for an idea?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Should we ever try it? Let's just come out of that.
Go for it.
We're going to options. We'll go to controls. And then I've got to figure out where night vision lives. Could be anywhere. Ah. And as if by magic, as though I planned it. What about N? Is that bound to anything else? No. Good. Okay, so this is a good test then. Do I have VoiceAttack open? I've got VoiceAttack website open. That's not what we want. Let me just open VoiceAttack. And you'll see when VoiceAttack opens, you get these tips. And they're actually really good. If you're just starting out with VoiceAttack, I highly recommend you read through these. And at the end, it will say... I think I just skipped past it. At the end, it will basically direct you to even more tips. There you go. Even more tips online, which if you click on it, takes you back to this how-to page here. But there's a great community behind this. And I'm going to leave that on because there's a lot of tips there that I haven't tested yet. But they really do put a lot of effort into helping people out and sort of fixing problems. Windows security may prevent VoiceAttack from working. Again, you know, that's an issue that they've been made aware of. I haven't run into that problem, but that's not to say that you won't. And as you can see, this is picking up my voice now, but not great. Let's do a test. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty accurate. Let's switch to my Elite Dangerous profile. Let's go in here. and we'll create a new command. New command will be and the other day I was trying to add multiple commands with a comma. That is some mistake.
Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Getting old, Jimmy. Senile. Repeating myself. So I'm going to put 2 in there. I'm going to put 2 in there, and then you hit the recorder, start recording. Hit OK, that goes in there. Now, what I did wrong the other day was I went in and started recording, and hit OK, and then you end up with 2. You see it's added 2 there? So that's what I did wrong the other day. I thought it would clear it and so on, but it didn't. So we'll apply that. Oh, I do need to... somewhere. Here we go. So you set your target to whatever it is you want to affect. So in this instance, it will be Elite Dangerous Client. So let's go back to Elite Dangerous. I'm going to leave that up there, and we'll see if this works. Night vision. Boom. So because Elite Dangerous has a single operation, unlike games such as Hitman, where every action has its own button, so get in a box is one button, get out of the box is a completely different button. Here, the N key would do the same thing.
Oh wow, that is amazing. I can see why you're so passionate about getting this working.
Just to let you know, there is a lot of stream buffering. Not sure if it's my end, but it seems when you open other tabs it buffers.
Would really benefit from voice
Not
attack.
buffering on my end, Cap.
Ah, Jimmy, it's not buffering for you.
No,
Are you on? Are you on Twitch or?
I'm watching both streams actually,
Oh, okay.
and I've been switching back and forth just to make sure that there's no buffering going on.
Cool. Cheers. Appreciate that.
And I'm not going to charge you anything for that.
You're a good man.
Thank you. That's what she said.
There's a potential future opening for a prime minister in the UK if you're interested.
No. No.
Great
Too much
perks.
problem. Too many problem. Plus I don't like wearing wigs.
Warning, landing gear not deployed.
Oh, landing gear not deployed. Right. Well, that's
Whoops.
the next one we can add then. Oh, actually, I don't need to go in there because I've already set this up. So if we tab back to VoiceAttack and say, now this is quite cool. I figured this out the other day. If I say the command I want to add, I can then double click it and it kind of sets it up for me. So if I say deploy landing gear, now you see that didn't 100% say capture what I
Damn,
said.
it must be my end.
Instead of saying deploy landing gear, for some reason it adds an extension to the deploy word. So what you can do,
Stuttering now. I'm getting stuttering on Twitch.
you are.
Yeah.
So it is when I click out of the game, it seems to be causing that issue. That's interesting. Is it completely stopped like yesterday, or is it just about?
It's working again.
It's just a temporary.
Just when you alt tab out, I guess.
That's interesting. Okay, so what I've done is I've added deploy landing gear, deployed landing gear, and deploying landing gear, in the hope that if I say deploy landing gear, it will pick up on one of those three. So click on apply and done. Definitely that's the area of VoiceAttack that I need to get working, is that recognition. Once that's working better, then I think the world is my oyster. Deploy landing gear. Deploy landing gear. It took 2 attempts, but we got there.
I've noticed that with VoiceAttack, it usually does take you 2 attempts with the with that command. Just that command, though, because your night vision worked very well.
It did, yeah. It's very much dependent on the words that you're using in order to activate a command. And if we just come back here, we can see what it thought I said. So the issue I had here, interestingly, deployed landing gear didn't register, despite the fact that I'm sure that was one of the commands. Yeah, it's the very first command, in fact. So that's interesting that said it was unrecognized.
And how do you put back the landing gear back into the ship?
Again, you can repeat the command, or if you're looking for sort of more immersion, I think I've just closed VoiceAttack by accident there. Just open it real quick.
Like you could do landing gear up or landing gear down.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's kind of I suppose one of the limitations of the application. If you say deploy landing gear and it doesn't do it straight away, then you could very easily find yourself saying it again, and then the landing gear might go up and down. So it might, there might be a delay in the action. So I believe there are settings and tweaks that you can use to improve or fix that. But that's something I'm going to have to do a bit further down the line when I've got it sort of working better. But yeah, like you say. 07 from Tux. Thanks, buddy. That's an Elite Dangerous salute right there, in case some of you don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I was like, 07, what is that? But yeah, if you look at it, it's somebody's head and they're doing a salute.
And they're saluting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? I do like it. So yeah, as you were saying, Jimmy, if I get into this command here, and I've got 3 different variations: deploy, 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 and just landing gear on its own. I can also add something like retract landing gear or raise
extend
landing gear. Oh, sorry, it keeps switching back to the main game. I'm not sure why it does that. Raise landing gear. Okay, so if we apply that and apply that, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to stick a new command in here, and this is one I've already created. I'm going to say pilot takeoff and pilot liftoff, because I can never remember which one it is, and I always say the wrong one. Now, when I start recording, I'm going to press the up arrow, but I'm going to hold it down for maybe 6-7 seconds. And whilst I'm doing that, it's effectively thrusting the ship up into the air, and then I'll follow that up with the G button. Now you can see it even records the pause in between, so you can remove that so that it's instant. When I click OK and apply and done, we can go and test this out. I'm just going to move this over here a second. Let's go for launch.
I haven't used VoiceAttack for over a year. I found it too finicky for my liking.
Ah, Tux. Yeah, that's kind of the issue I'm having right now. So, now, the reason why I set that last command for takeoff in that way is because I'm aware of the fact that just by saying the words takeoff, I might enact or enable that function to happen, and I might not want it to happen when I'm talking about takeoff. So I've introduced a keyword, which in this instance is pilot, and that way I can put all of my ship command controls behind that keyword, so it'll only action when I say pilot takeoff. So if I pause for a moment, because it has to be a clean verbal command, it can't be at the end of a previous sentence, we'll see if that works. Pilot takeoff. And my hands are not on the controls. And then I'm free to leave. And that in itself is a really nice, really cool kind of feature. It's one of the easiest, earliest ones that you can create for VoiceAttack, but it works really well, as I think you saw there. In my previous stream, that's exactly what I tried to do, but I had a few issues. But I mean, that's quite impressive. Just
Make
on
it
its
more
own.
immersive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you name the ship, like call it Bertha or something, and instead of saying pilot, just like Kit would do back in the day with Knight Rider. Remember?
Kit, yeah, absolutely.
So you can actually name your ship and use that name as the start of a command. Instead of saying pilot, because initially you're the pilot.
Yeah, well, obviously you can use any keyword you like. It doesn't have to be pilot. The only reason I sort of opted for pilot is because it's a bit more generic. So if you've got more than one ship, you don't want to have to rekey.
Would it be nice if you could name your ship like Oscar?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you picked that name because a totally third-party company whose name I can't remember have created profiles for Elite Dangerous that can be used with VoiceAttack, and they are fully encoded, fully functioning, totally professional voice recorded voice packs that allow you to refer to them directly. So one of them is actually called Oscar, which is you either knew that or was an amazing surprise.
No, it's totally random.
Totally random. Yeah, one of them is actually called Oscar, and I think Oscar was the one I was contemplating on purchasing. But
that's awesome.
Before I'd sort of venture, because they're about 15 quid each, these voice packs. And before I sort of venture into spending more money on this, I just want to get VoiceAttack working well. But yeah, the possibilities are endless, and it's not limited to Elite Dangerous either.
Right.
I was thinking the other day, I'm not sure if you could do this in a professional environment, but have they given me landing access?
HSC voice packs. I have the
HSC.
Brian blessed one called Vasco.
That's it, Tux.
Hilarious
Thank you.
voice pack.
It is.
Wow, Tux is on it, huh?
Yes. He used Vasco. They're very funny. I think it's a British company, and it has a lot of British-based humour. included. They do look really good, and they've got some really famous people. So if you like Star Trek, they've got a lot of the big names from Star Trek who have created these voice packs. They're really interesting. Brian Blessed, do you know who that is, Jimmy?
No.
He's a rambunctious, really loud, really vibrant British actor. He's a bit of a character.
Okay.
And he does one as well, but they are very funny, some of them.
That's awesome.
I'm not sure why my ship's sort of flying around like
You
this.
can get the voice of Roger Moore and a lot other English
Who can
celebrities.
remember what the computer was called in Space Odyssey 2012?
Yes, that's on there as well. That's one
What
of the
was
options
that
on there.
computer's name?
I can't remember. I can remember Red Dwarf's name.
Let
That
us
was
know in the
Holly.
chat, guys, if you guys can remember.
Yeah, please do. What I want to do is figure out how I'm going to land with VoiceAttack. So I think if I get myself positioned where I need to, like so.
Oh, Hal. Yeah.
Well,
That was the computer's name, Hal.
Hal.
H-A-L.
That was it. Hal.
Yeah.
Well done, Tux. Tux is very knowledgeable. Okay.
Awesome.
So we're going to go, what's command? I'm going to say pilot land. Pilot land. Yeah, that's not quite what I said, but it's close. So I'm going to put a few options in here that sound sort of similar. And this is going to be a real gamble. Now I'm deliberately pausing in between pressing the G key, which will lower my landing gear, and then actually trying to land, because I want to make sure that the landing gear is out before it does this. Now 3.7 seconds might be enough, it might not be enough. It's a total gamble, but it's kind of a test. So I mean,
think
that's
the
what
best
we're doing.
one I've heard is Billy Connolly. Now that is really funny but not suitable for under 18s.
Oh, Billy Connolly, he's amazing.
He is amazing.
I love Billy Connolly.
I didn't realize there was an HSC Billy Connolly
I would
pack.
like a kit voice pack so I can be the Knight Rider of the galaxy.
Yeah, that would be good, Tux. I'd like that as well. Right, let's try this. Land ship. Do you know what? 100% forgot what I'd put in.
That Billy Connolly one I nearly bought.
Oh. Bit of stutter there. Pilot land. Oh, first bit's worked. 15-second delay. And then it should touch down. I'm not touching the controls. Maybe a 15-second delay is too long. It's not dropping down, is it? One thing I have noticed is that I can't, at the moment at least, get my controller inputs to register. Oh, I see. That down key is not actually down thrust. That's why that hasn't worked. Let's go controls. Alternate flight landing overrides. There we go. So I'm just going to bind that key. Go back to the game. Resume. So I'm going to raise the landing gear and then try that again. Pilot land. Landing gear has dropped. 15-second delay is definitely too long. Okay, we landed rather heavily there. But it did land on its own.
Engines disengaged.
So there's a lot of potential with voice attack, most definitely. And I was thinking as well, if I was playing PUBG, you could just bind voice attack to throw a grenade, and rather than having to find the key, cook it and then throw it, you could just have all that coded straight into this. But it is effectively a macro, so I don't think you'd be able to use that in competition. But it does show the potential for voice attack to be used in almost any game. I wouldn't say any game, I'm sure there are limitations, but huge potentials. Huge potential. Let's just go in here and see if I can edit this. I think you can. If I click on that and say edit, then you can actually go in and type.
Make sure you give that grenade some cooking time before it
Yeah.
actually releases. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of splattered Sim UK everywhere.
Have you not watched my PUBG videos, Jimmy? They're all like
No,
that.
I don't watch PUBG. I'm sorry. I'm honest. I'm not a first-person shooter fan.
Are you
at
not?
all.
Wow.
No, not at all. Because I suck at it. Pretty simple. And something I suck at, I don't watch.
See, I'm the other end of that that particular spectrum. If I get my ass kicked, I'm like, right, now I have to take this seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
why.
I'm
It's
like
like, I will not be defeated by you.
No, I'm the type of person that'll say, okay, I'm going to stick in the corner and I'm going to camp out here.
That's what I should do. I waste an awful lot of time on PUBG. Although, having said that, I did play yesterday and I got like 5 chicken dinners in sort of 3 hours of gameplay and finished in the top 5 90% of the time. So yesterday I was having
awesome.
a good day. Yeah, I was having a really good day yesterday. So, yeah. Practice pays off.
I should get you on board on Fortnite with my son.
Yeah, see, I don't think I'd be any good at that game. It's third-person perspective for a start, isn't it?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
got to move fast when you build. Your fingers have to fly on the keyboard.
Yeah, see, that's the other issue I have. I've only been using a keyboard and mouse for about 6 months. I still have to look down. Quite often, I'll jump out of the aeroplane, and instead of holding WASD, I'm holding ESDF, and I can't figure out why he just keeps leaning but not walking. It's very annoying. Very annoying. Okay, so... oh, I just thought of one. But this is quite complex, this one. So, if I go... How am I going to do this? Now, I think that's the issue there. I was thinking, every time I land, I want to go into Starport Services. So I'd go enter hangar, which would theoretically bring up Starport Services. And then I want to go and repair the ship and refuel the ship. Now I want to do that every single time I land. So it would be great if I could bind that to a voice attack command. But
You
as I
bind
mentioned
3
earlier,
actions,
say again.
bind 3 actions in one. You bind 3 actions in one command.
Yeah, it's
basically.
unlimitless. It's limitless. You can bind huge numbers. And also, it's probably worth mentioning that voice attack isn't just useful for gaming. If you're doing some repetitive task in Excel, for example, you could use voice attack to implement that control for you.
Right.
And you can set it also to repeat over and over and over again, or for a set number of times. if I come in here, open this up, you see we've got all these repeating options down the bottom. So you can say repeat, you know, if you had to write a command in 1,000 times, can't imagine a reason why you'd want to do that, but you could just say type that command and get it to repeat 1,000 times over. And if you've set it up correctly, you know, that's going to cut your workflow down considerably. What I need to do is figure out how to get this to do all my editing for me, and I'm away. That might take some time.
I
But
have
what-
faith in you.
I could sell that for millions, couldn't I? That script.
Absolutely.
The amount of YouTubers who'd go, oh yeah, absolutely, I have a piece of that. So let's just call this one test. Because what I don't appear to be able to do is, if I use my controller, now you can't see that because I don't have a camera today, but I'm pressing my controller buttons and moving the joystick around and doing all kinds of stuff, but none of that is being registered. Now, I did stumble across something here, the joysticks, which is you can turn it on or off, but how do I get it to do what I want? That's the thing. So if I come here, joystick options, joystick 1 and 2, assigned and enabled.
Sim UK hi.
Matthew, Sim UK, hi. How you doing, Matthew? Nice to see you. I've got Jimmy Dali with me today. He's been helping me
Hello,
out with
Matthew.
my OBS stuff. Actually, I think, Matthew, were you asking me about OBS stuff the other day? I can't remember if it was you. I do apologise. I speak to a lot of people. But yes, Jimmy Dali is definitely the man to speak to about OBS settings. He's helped me out huge amounts today. Thanks again, Jimmy, once more.
Cheers, buddy. Anytime.
So I'm thinking here,
It's night and day compared to your last stream, by the way.
is it vastly better?
Oh, absolutely.
That's good news. Right. Now, this is very much jumping into the unknown. I think
Yes.
by ticking this, it was you, Matthew. Definitely have a. If you haven't already joined Jimmy's Discord server, go check out some of Jimmy's YouTube videos, and there should be a link in there that you can connect with Jimmy, because the knowledge that Jimmy has around OBS compared to my knowledge is gargantuan. I know nothing, he knows huge amounts. So definitely Jimmy's the man you need to speak to in that regard. And Jimmy, did we sort of half discuss whether we were going to make maybe a tutorial for OBS that we can put out at some point?
Well, yeah, we can do a collab video if you like. We can show off our streams at the same time.
Yeah,
That way people can get two different perspectives
that's a good idea.
on the same setting.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I like that. We'll have to think about how we're going to format that, I guess. But yeah, that's an idea. I think we could help a lot of people with that, potentially.
Absolutely.
So where my controller wasn't working, I think this might fix it. It does say test here.
And mind you, we have to explain what kind of setups we have. Like my hardware is a lot different from your hardware, and that plays
Absolutely.
a factor as well.
Absolutely.
But the end result is going to be almost the same.
So, I think what this does it's a bit confusing. It appears to have multiple point of view switches available, but only one of them appears to do anything in the test. So that's test 1 fail, test 2 fail, but this one, no. Oh, this one works. No, now none of them work. Oh, it does work, but Let's go back into this and just see what happens. Where's that test one? Maybe I didn't do it. Try again. Test. Oh wow.
Sorry, I can't help you much here because I'm also getting a delayed stream, so I can't.
Is it still sort of twitching out and delaying? Is it?
No, it's delayed. Your stream is different from your voice. It's
Oh, there's a delay.
a huge delay. So I'm actually watching what you were saying 20 seconds ago.
Oh crikey.
Oh, that's completely normal.
Oh, that is normal.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
Oh, I see.
because I'm not watching your Discord. If you were sharing this on Discord, it would have been okay. But
Yeah.
because I'm watching it on Twitch and YouTube, there's something like a 15 to 20 second delay, so I can't actually.
Got you.
confer.
So you're hearing me real time, but seeing me
Yeah,
in a delay.
exactly. Exactly, and
Okay.
I can't put my 2 cents in. That's why I'm
That's
very
fine.
silent.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not having a lot of luck here getting my controllers to register in this recorder area. That's
Yeah,
obviously something I'm going to have to test out of
Looks
stream.
like it's gonna need some offline testing.
Yeah, for sure. But I think what we got 3 or 4 commands in there.
Sim
haven't we?
UK, please tell me earlier if you want do the convoy with Jimmy, Dali and me in ETS2 multiple. Thanks.
Matthew, a convoy with Jimmy, Dali and ETS2. That's something I'd definitely like to do. Have we ever convoyed, Jimmy?
No, I don't think so. We've talked about it.
We have.
Never got around to it. We have done Bus Simulator 18, and
Indeed.
what else have we done together? No, we haven't trucked together yet.
No, we should definitely do some trucking.
We should.
I think we tried a couple of times, didn't we? And something happened my end and I had to pull out or something like that. Rings a bell. That's generally
I don't
how it
know.
goes. That's generally how it goes in this house.
I think it was a matter of timing
Yeah,
with real life issues.
yeah, I think so. Right. So anyway, I've got maybe 3 or 4 voice attack commands in there. I've shown them to work. I've sort of highlighted slightly some workarounds and some options. Definitely voice attack I think is capable of doing a lot more than what I've shown you today, and there's a lot of research and testing and practice I'm going to need to do before I can make anything that closely resembles a tutorial.
Sim UK, what is convoy? Thanks.
Matthew, convoy is basically playing ETS2 on multiplayer. So when multiple trucks drive from one location to another together as a group, that's called a convoy. That's what that is. But getting back to voice attack, I think definitely I'm going to have to go do some research and some testing offline. Today's stream was really about testing the settings that Sir Jimmy Dali has helped me set up on OBS, and I think personally I think it's a huge improvement. For one thing, we've been streaming for an hour, believe it or not, and it hasn't fallen over, so that's a dramatic improvement over yesterday's stream. So Jimmy, thank you so much. My hat off to you, sir.
Yeah, I would put this in the progress folder.
Yeah.
You made a lot of progress today.
Absolutely, massive progress folder for
On
me.
both
Okay,
fronts.
thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully anyone who's sort of new to voice attack has maybe watched this, or you'll watch it in the future, and it will give you some sort of indication as to what the capabilities are. I know it's very limited. I haven't done much today with it, but yeah, I mean, hopefully I've shown that it has huge potential. Jimmy, is it something you'd be interested in grabbing, voice attack?
No, I'm too scared to even touch Elite Dangerous.
Not necessarily for Elite Dangerous, but any game.
Well,
I mean, even
that's basically what I would use it for. I don't know. I think it's too intricate for me.
you think it's too intricate,
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
much of
a learning
an
curve.
intricate program, and it's something that I don't have time for.
Yeah, I was thinking also, you know, for something like streaming, you might even be able to use it with OBS and sort of, you know, bring in.
Yeah, like an audible stream deck or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The potential is definitely there to do it.
Sounds
but-
interesting. But
I mean-
it's funny. It's funny. You'd have to put in. Very importantly, you'd have to put in keywords before
Yeah.
every command, because if you're talking and your screen goes offline because you said offline, that is totally funny.
These are the things you have to concern yourself with. Something I didn't set up, but I know you can do because I've seen it, is there's one chap who's bound a button on his X56 Rhino controller, and when he presses that, VoiceAttack starts listening. At the moment, VoiceAttack is listening constantly, but you can change it so that it doesn't listen to anything you say until you press the listen to me button. So there are quite a few options and variations that you can apply to VoiceAttack and fix it, so that you don't, like you say, accidentally delete stream or something.
Yeah.
Delete
would
my
be fun.
YouTube account and off it goes, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh God. Oh my
Sim
God.
UK, if you
Just
want to,
thinking
could you
about it,
choose
I
Tuesday?
shudder.
Because I free on that day. Thanks.
No, not
Matthew,
that kind of thing.
I can't confirm to that Tuesday at the moment, I'm afraid, buddy. But I'll chat with Jimmy and we'll try and sort something out in terms of an ETS convoy.
Hello, Ben H.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ben H, hey, good afternoon. Jimmy, you're seeing this chat before I am.
Like I said, I'm switching.
It's impressive. So the stream is actually faster than my live recording is.
Yeah, probably.
But Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me today and helping me
Cheers,
out.
buddy. It's been great. It's been very fun.
Watching
Thank you
me
for
struggle.
inviting me over. Well, no, this wasn't struggling. Yesterday was struggling for you, and I felt so sorry for you, buddy.
Yesterday was an absolute disaster.
Oh, it was horrendous. It was
Yeah.
horrendous.
But I think massive progress made today in terms of stream quality, but also in VoiceAttack understanding, I think is probably the best way to do it. And I thank everybody who popped in and said hi today, especially those who commented in chat. Really appreciate that. Please do go check out Jimmy's channel on YouTube and Twitch. You're now an affiliate, am I right in saying that?
Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Okay.
not much
Thanks.
time on Twitch though. I haven't been live streaming actually recently, but there is something coming up very, very soon that we have to get on.
Oh,
so,
yes.
yeah, something's becoming
Relevant.
non-NDA very soon. So
Which we
I'm
cannot
probably gonna do a
discuss.
live stream. I'm probably gonna do a live stream in about half an hour.
Fantastic.
Probably
Fantastic.
about
Well,
something that's non-NDA.
I'll be coming over and watching that if you do, Jimmy.
All right,
Definitely.
not really sure. I'm not gonna put my hand in the fire, but we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to wrap up now. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of an outro. But it's been an absolute pleasure. And Jimmy, thank you again for sorting out my
buddy.
stream.
Anytime.
Amazing improvement. I appreciate it so much.
Thank
Goodbye,
you for
everybody.
having me on the stream. Bye bye.
Always a pleasure.
Bye, all.
Always a pleasure. Bye, guys.